That's right. There's been a lot of hype leading up to this visit about the golden era, and it really does seem, after hearing this, the press conference, the announcement of the deals, that words are being backed by action. This will be the first nuclear power plant in Britain to be built in a generation. It's been on the drawing board since 2005. It just hasn't seemed to be able to get off the ground over the past few years. Britain knew it needed greater technical expertise, more money than the French firm contracted to build it could provide. And finally, two state Chinese firms have stepped in. That project is now set to take off. The bulldozers are actually in position and they could begin work in the coming days. But as on top of the big deals, it was really the tone of that press conference that has everybody talking here. Here were two leaders very relaxed with each other. Clearly, they'd had a successful meeting. They came out, the body language showed the success of those talks. And at the end of their respective speeches, they took many questions, many of them very hard questions. Questions about human rights, which President Xi and David Cameron both discussed. Also, a question to David Cameron about cheap steel imports, which President Xi actually stepped in and took the question. That was very well received here in Britain, and it appears that the tone of the press conference itself, as much as the big deals in it, just spoke volumes about the new relationship between China and Britain.
And Jack, has there been any element of surprise at the extent and size of these deals that have already been announced?
Enormous surprise at the size of these deals and the scope so far, because it's not just that nuclear project, which is enormous in itself, around $10 billion, but so many other deals announced today. A tie-in between BP and Chinese firms worth around $20 billion. On top of that, a venture for Rolls-Royce to develop engines in China for around $3.7 billion, cruise ship tie-ins, healthcare technology tie-ins, the list goes on and on. We're not even at the second day of this four-day visit. Britain was hoping for $47 billion worth of deals. At the end of the 4 days, already we're above $61 billion.